Fly ball right field. Springer back. And he's got it. And that'll do it.
Quick little chat from the third baseman encouraged Beasley to throw it over, and Springer, who moved from center to right, makes an easy play out in right field, and the Blue Jays win the first of two. So Matt Chapman made the contribution with his bat, and he also made a contribution with his experience.
Good times right now for the Blue Jays as they open up the homestand with a convincing win over the Cardinals to extend the winning streak to 7. Time now for Sportsnet Central. Here are Jesse and Ivanka.
Make that 7 in a row for the Blue Jays. Welcome inside the Sportsnet Central studios. He's Jesse Fuchs. I'm Ivanka Osmak, and all in Buck Martinez's return to the Rogers Center. Great to see him. Crazy to think this month they lost 9 of 10 in the beginning of July, and now they have won 9 of 10. Big reason why the bats.
Yeah, 50 runs in 4 games since the All-Star break, and this was just a feel-good night, wasn't it? It started with the incredible salute for Buck Martinez, and I think Vlad Jr. spent the entire game dancing. I can't confirm that, but it was pretty close. Everybody in the starting lineup has a hit. It's really all good right now for the Blue Jays as we send it to Jamie and Joe for more.
Jesse and Ivanka, thank you so much. Yes, it was an evening of celebration as Buck returns to his valued position as a broadcaster here on Blue Jays baseball. He's been part of your family as a player, manager, broadcaster since 1981, and it's so good to see him come back and witness the Blue Jays at their absolute finest these days. Another outburst, 10 runs, as you two mentioned, and we talked about this on Blue Jays Central at length. You're seeing a lot of production, not from the big stars at the top of the order, but from down below. Take us through what led to George Springer's grand slam.
Well, the guys at the top are supposed to do it, and that's what they do, and they do the damage at the top of the lineup. That's why they are up there. But the guys at the bottom continue to contribute. You don't necessarily need to hit the baseball. Just have good plate appearances down at the bottom of the order. Work pitchers, and that's ball 4 by lots, but it's a good plate appearance by Espinal right from the first pitch of that at bat, and then it's Biggio. We know he is never going to give in, and that's what turns the lineup over to the big boys with runners on base. So it's an excellent job by Espinal and Biggio at the bottom of the order yet again. It feels like we've been talking a lot like this about the bottom half of the Blue Jays lineup, but they continue to do it because if you can get guys like that up with runners on base, usually it's going to be good news for the Blue Jays, and it was again tonight. George Springer with the biggest swing of the night.
Yes, yet another series of runs scored with 2 outs. The Blue Jays have been doing that with regularity the last little while. Let's take you down to the field. Arash Madani is with the man who hit that big fly.
George, 4 games out of the All-Star break, 50 runs scored in that span. Only the second time that's ever happened in the All-Star game era. What has gotten into this team?
Just good quality at bats. You know, we're passing the baton on to the next guy, and that's what we're supposed to do. That's all.
Cold?
Yeah.
You talk about the quality at bats. Before you come up, Santiago Espinal takes a walk, and then Kevin Biggio takes a walk to load them up. The patience, making sure they're having quality at bats, just how integral has that been to this whole thing?
It's huge. I mean, without those at bats, you know, that inning isn't possible. So, you know, just slowing things down, good quality at bats, and we'll see what happens.
So you wanted ball 4 with the bases loaded?
No, I was mad that I didn't swing.
So then you got really mad and swung at the next one?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to hit something hard right there, and I'm glad I could help us.
George, what does it mean right now to be on this roll with this team, having some momentum going into the break and then coming out doing what you're doing?
I mean, it's huge. You know, I think this is who we are as a team. You know, we just go play hard every day, good quality at bats again, and hopefully it keeps going.
It's going. George, appreciate it.
All right.
That is 7 consecutive victories, and as Dan and Buck noted during the broadcast, 50 runs scored in the last 4 games. My goodness, let's send it up to you two in the broadcast booth.
Jamie, thank you. One of those runs driven in tonight by Alejandro Kirk, who hit his 12th home run of the season. When you were last year, Buck, in April, Kirk looked like a guy struggling, even a little bit of quiet talk. Maybe they might send him down for a little bit to get his stroke going again. Well, his stroke has been going. What have you seen from him the last 3 months?
Well, I think the one thing we've seen is when he has a chance to play on a regular basis, he's going to hit. He hit .318 in his career in the minors, and that has translated very well. And this is a 7th inning home run the opposite field. He's got 12 home runs now, and the thing about Alejandro is he doesn't worry about pulling the ball or hitting the ball to a specific part of the ballpark. He just has good at-bats. He doesn't strike out much. He has more walks than strikeouts. He's tough with 2 strikes. It never really gets to him. And we've talked to him early on about it. I said, who do you rely on when you have trouble with your bat? He said, me. I know my swing better than anybody, and boy, he knows how to hit. And it's hard to fathom that at the start of the season, as you mentioned, hitting 200. Then he ends up as a starting catcher in the American League in the All-Star game. He's done a terrific job.
We are thrilled you're back. You want to come back and do it again tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I think I'll come back for tomorrow.
Excellent.
Thanks.
He's coming back tomorrow, Jamie. We're going to do it all over again.
I would hope so. So good to see you, Buck. What a special night, too. And we, you know, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast today, the game was secondary. But the Blue Jays win. That's 7 in a row. They're really cementing their position here in that wild card spot. And they're doing so in a variety of ways. You're so impressed with the way they attack high velocity pitchers. You saw it in this game.
We talk so much, Jamie, about how you want guys that throw 100 miles per hour coming out of your bullpen. Well, the Cardinals have it, but it was no match for the Blue Jays offense. Some of these guys can hit high velocity, but it's more about the approach. You're sitting in the dugout, you watch Hicks pitch a 1-2-3 5th inning getting Springer, Vladdy, and Kirk. But you know he loves that fastball because it's near triple digits, so you know he's probably going to throw it. But what hitters are also seeing is that the slider was not necessarily in the zone a whole lot. So what do? You try to eliminate that second pitch and sit on the triple digits. These guys can hit 100 when they know it's coming, and they showed that in this inning up and down, and that set the stage, of course, for the big blow, and that was Springer. I thought it was interesting. He swung 3-0. I didn't think he should have. Ball was running in on him a little bit, but the count got full, and that pitch is right out over the plate. But once again, when you can eliminate that secondary pitch, you can hit 100. But when you have to try to cover 100 and handle a nasty slider, that's when pitchers win those battles. But the Blue Jays hitters won all of the battles because they basically knew what was coming. It's a good indication from guys paying attention, watching in from the dugout. That's why you have to watch the game, watch what that pitcher's doing. Despite the good inning he had in the 5th inning, using both pitches, but understanding that slider might not be his best pitch tonight.
So the Blue Jays and Cardinals will finish up this series. Remember, it's just a 2-gamer, and they'll do so tomorrow night. Kevin Gausman gets the nod for the Blue Jays. We hope you'll join us for Blue Jays Central. Comes your way at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Back to Ivanka and Jesse.